Hello, everyone. This is Al Red Sox fan coming to you from Al Red Sox fan YouTube channel. Hope all is well. We're going to bring you some more APBA baseball basic. Card and dice makes everything nice. We'll continue with the original franchise All-Stars. We have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the St. Louis Browns / Baltimore Orioles. What a pitching matchup we have tonight. These wonderful card sets are created by Chris White. They consist of the original 16 franchise All-Stars up to, I believe, 1979. The pitching matchup, it's a doozy. Bob Gibson and the Cardinals take on Jim Palmer and the Orioles / Browns. Play ball, first pitch, aka dice roll, is up next. But first, let's go through the players that make up these two marvelous original franchise all-star teams. The St. Louis Cardinals are the visiting team here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. The Orioles / Browns, the home team. So we'll start with St. Louis, and we will go with the reserves who are not playing in this game. Pitcher, Lindy McDaniel, 1960. Pitcher, Dizzy Dean, 1934. Pitcher, Bill Doak, 1914. Pitcher, Jesse Haynes, 1927. Pitcher for the Cardinals, Harry Breachin, 1948 Cardinals. Pitcher, Howie Pollette, 1946 Cardinals. That's their World Series team that defeated the Red Sox. Pitcher, Slim Sally. You gotta like that name. 1914. Pitcher, Bill Sherdell. The year for Sherdell, 1928 Cardinals. Now, another pitcher, Larry Jackson, 1960 Cardinals. Now the position reserves. Outfielder, Joe Medwick. I believe his nickname was Ducky. 1937 Cardinals. Outfielder, Chick Haffey with the spectacles. 1929 Cardinals. Second baseman, Red Schoendienst. 1953 Cardinals. Shortstop, Marty Marion. 1947 Cardinals. First baseman, Jim Bottomley. 1925 Cardinals. Catcher, Ted Simmons. 1975 Cardinals. All right, those are your reserves who are not in the starting lineup for this battle of really St. Louis, the battle of the birds, in a way. Now for your starters, Bob Gibson will be on the hill for the original all-franchise Cardinals. 1968 Cardinals, of course. Your starting lineup. Leading off in left field, Lou Brock, 1967 World Series champions. Batting second in center field, Enos Slaughter, 1949 Cardinals. Stan Musial bats third, plays right field. Stan the Man, 1948 Cardinals. The cleanup hitter playing first base, Johnny Mize. The year for Mize, 1937. Batting fifth at second base, Roger Hornsby. It's 1922 for Hornsby. Doing the catching, batting sixth, Tim McCarver, 1967. That's the World Series champions who defeated the Red Sox. Batting seventh, the DH, Jesse Burkett. 1899 for Jesse Burkett. Batting eighth, shortstop Gary Templeton. He would be traded for Ozzie Smith. San Diego and St. Louis would swap shortstops. And for Gary Templeton, 1979. Batting ninth, playing third base, Ken Boyer, 1960. Those are your starters for the St. Louis Cardinals. On the mound for the Orioles/Browns, we'll probably just refer to them as the Orioles, but it's Jim Palmer. 1975 for Palmer. Now for the players. Batting first, playing center field, Baby Doll Jacobson. No one puts Baby Doll Jacobson in the corner. And that's going to be 1920 for Baby Doll Jacobson. Batting second at first base, George Sisler. 1920. Batting third, playing second base, Bobby Grich. 1974. The cleanup hitter, Boog Powell. 1969 for Boog. Batting fifth, the human vacuum cleaner, playing third base, manning the hot corner, Brooks Robinson. Look at those orange uniforms. These are the uniform colors I had as when I played Sandlot. We looked like the Orioles. Yeah. 1964 for Brooks. Batting sixth, playing left field, Harry Rice. 1925 St. Louis Browns. Bobby Wallace will play short and bat seventh. 1902 St. Louis Browns. In right field, batting eighth, Kenny Singleton. 1977 Orioles. Batting ninth, doing the catching for the St. Louis Browns, Rick Farrell. And that is 1932. So that's the starting lineups. And did I go through the reserves? I did not go through the reserves, did I? I don't think I did. I did for St. Louis. Let's go through the reserves. I'll find out in a second. No, we did not go through the reserves. All right, here are your reserves for the St. Louis Browns, Baltimore Orioles. Pitcher, Dick Hall. Pitcher, and that Dick Hall is 1964. Pitcher, Stu Miller, 1965. Pitcher, St. Louis Browns, Satchel Paige. Pitcher, Baltimore Orioles, and Satchel Paige, 1952. Pitcher, Baltimore Orioles, Mike Cuellar, 1969. Pitcher, Baltimore Orioles, Dave McNally, 1968. Pitcher, St. Louis Browns, Jack Powell, 1906 for Jack Powell. Pitcher, St. Louis Browns, Harry Howell, 1908 for Howell. Pitcher, St. Louis Browns, Urban Shocker. He'd go on to pitch with the Yankees, too. 1921. Pitcher, Baltimore Orioles, Milt Pappas. Now for the reserve position players. Catcher, St. Louis Browns, Marty McManus. Outfielders, and McManus, 1923. Outfielder, St. Louis Browns, Ken Williams, 1922. Third baseman, St. Louis Browns, Harland Clift. The year for Clift, 1937. Shortstop, St. Louis Browns, Red Kress, 1931. Outfielder, St. Louis Browns, Johnny Tobin, 1921. Catcher, St. Louis Browns, Hank Severeid, 1922. Those are your reserve players not in the game at the moment. Here at Field of Dreams Ballpark, we have tie board games. And our good friend Brian Hoxie says, good evening, Al. Wow, quite a pitching matchup. Go O's. All right, we're going to try to keep score here and here, of course. And if I remember, I will move these things for the outs. And we will put these for the players on base. Let's move these over here. So leading off is Lou Brock. He will face Jim Palmer. Trying a little different setup here. Clinton Parks, the Admirals, joined us. Hope all is well, Clinton. All right, here we go. Lou Brock, left-handed batter, facing the right-handed slow wind-up, sort of a soft tosser, can mix a fastball by a Jim Palmer. Palmer, by the way, is a grade A pitcher with a YZ modifier. Both teams will be in the fielding one column. The Cardinals just made it with 41 fielding points. The Orioles have 43 fielding points. Palmer to Lou Brock. Brock, a fast runner. That's going to be a 12 to Lou Brock. A 12 to Brock is a 25. 25 is ground ball to second. Ex-pitcher would have got a strikeout. Palmer is not an ex-pitcher. He's a YZ. So that is a ground out 4-3. Grich to Sisler. One down. Stepping to the plate, Enos Slaughter. And there's one out. Look at that. I remembered to move that over. Here's Enos Slaughter. I think I'm just going to roll the dice by hand. It's quicker that way. All right. Slaughter is a left-handed stick. The pitch from Palmer to Enos Slaughter. That's a 54. A 54 to Enos Slaughter is a 32. Bases empty chart, 32. That's going to be out number 2. Fly ball to the right center field gap. Making the catch, a fine running catch, not known for his defense, Kenny Singleton. Good catch by Kenny. 2 away. Slaughter is retired. Clinton Park says, I think Waddle versus Gibson would be a touch better. Another replay guy, hooray, our good friend Michael Canastari. Check out that wonderful channel as he says hello. Greg Gurecki, how you doing? Although our good friend from the Great White North. We're going to have a little Canadian football on the channel at some point. I do have a Canadian Football League game. Our good friend Greg Gurecki. Although a Cardinals lifer, I may have gone with Mike Cuellar against St. Louis, one of my favorites. So there's 2 outs, base is empty. Stan the Man Musial steps to the plate. Gibson. Palmer looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Another left-handed stick. Palmer, the slow wind-up, deliberate delivery to Stan the Man Musial. That's a 36. A 36 to Stan the Man Musial is a 33. That will end the inning. Popped up right side, right side, excuse me. A wide pitcher gets a strikeout. It's going to be a strikeout, so it's a pop-up, foul territory. Grich cannot get there. Neither can Sisler. Palmer strikes out Musial on a breaking pitch, following the pop-out foul ball into the stands. 1-2-3. Go the Cardinals. Good, clean inning for Palmer. Let's see if I can do this properly without hitting the camera. A goose egg. All righty. Let's see how long that's going to last. All right, we go back to 0 outs. Bob Gibson will try to put up the goose egg. Here's Bobby. Let's slide that over a little more. And put these players over here. So for the Orioles / Browns, it's Jacobson, Sisler, and Grich. Baby Doll Jacobson. No one puts Baby Doll Jacobson in the corner. If you can name the movie I'm ripping off that reference from, I would be impressed. Here we go. The pitch to the right-hand batting Baby Doll Jacobson. Gibson looks at him and says, "Don't dig in, son." The pitch from Bob Gibson. That is a 51. A 51 is an 8. Gibson's an AC pitcher, XZ modifier. That will be, I know the 8 is eliminated because the voodoo, the AC, is going to take that away. Jams him. Pops up. Left side, third baseman Ken Boyer will make the play. So Jacobson pops out to Kenny Boyer, 1 down. Cleve Baseball Fan 879's got it. Jerry Orbach's classic, Dirty Dancing. You are correct. You are correct. Oh, people, how could you not get that? Thank God our good friend Tim, Cleve Baseball Fan 879, was here. You come to my channel, we have levity, folks. We will have levity. Please check out that wonderful channel, Cleve Baseball Fan 879. So there is 1 out here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. Stepping to the plate, George Sisler, first baseman, to face Bobby Gibson. Sisler digs in the left-hander's batter's box. The pitch from Gibson. A 13. A 13 is a 37. Fielding column 1. 37. Fouls it off. Back into the lower seats. So that's a 0-1 count. We do it again. A W pitcher would have been a walk. The pitch to Sisler. Oh, it's a 66. Sisler gets a hold of one. It's a 0. We re-roll on the D grade. Sisler's going to be on base. That's a 45. A 45 is a 6. That's going to be a double. So George Sisler doubles the left center field. A good battle between Sisler and Gibson. So that's a double for Sisler. He's a fast batter. Gibson not happy with that. Bobby Grich steps to the plate. Here is Bobby. Bobby trying to give the Browns / Orioles a quick lead here. We're going to switch charts. Runner on second, 1 out. The pitch to Bobby Grich, righty-righty matchup. 53 to Bobby Grich. 53's a 9. I believe the AC Voodoo might take that 9. It does. It does. Ground ball to short. Charging it is Templeton. He'll throw to Mize. 2 away. Advancing to third is Sisler. Had it been 2 outs, it would have been a strikeout. So Sisler moves to third. There are 2 outs. They'll need something clutch from Boog Powell. Powell digs in the left-hander's batter's box. He's unafraid of Gibson. Gibson doesn't care. He's like a honey badger. Gibson to Boog Powell. 65. A 65 is a 35. Runner at third. Switch that over. That should end the inning. 35. Popped up. Left side. Converging. Boyer. Templeton. Templeton is calling for it. He'll make the catch. Stranded at third is Sisler. The 1-out double does no damage. We're through 1 here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. No score. So Gibson pitches around the double. And we'll put the score up in a second. MK, how you doing? He says, fun game, like the wood cutout field. Thank you. Just trying something a little different. I like to try different things. I'd like to welcome everyone to the ballpark and some APBA baseball. We have MK, Cleve Baseball Fan 879. Please check out and subscribe to that wonderful channel. The Admiral, Clinton Parks, our good friend from the Great White North, Greg Garecki, another replay guy, hooray, Michael Conastari. Please subscribe to that channel also. Brian Hoxie and Ty Board Games. We go to the top of the second. Jim Palmer back up on the bump for the Browns/Orioles. He will face Mize, Hornsby, McCarver. Here's Johnny Mize, first baseman. He's got pop. Johnny Mize has some pop, folks. Mize digs in the left-hander's batter's box. Farrell sets the target. Palmer to Mize. It's a 46. A 46 is a 41. We have to go to the bases empty. A 41. Chopper to third. The throw is low. Safe at first. It is going to be an unthinkable error on the human vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson. Holy cow. It's an E5 on Brooksy. Mize reaches. Mize at first base. The Brooks Robinson error. No outs. Mize at first for Roger Hornsby. This is a righty-righty matchup. Palmer looks to first. Now in at the plate. The pitch to Roger Hornsby. That's a 66. It is high. It is deep. It is gone, baby, gone. Roger Hornsby strikes the ball and strikes it well. Bippity boppity boom to the moon. Boom goes the ball. Roger Hornsby touches them all. It was a breaking pitch that Hornsby waited nice on, sends it out to right center, and goodbye. 2-0 Cardinals. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. So a home run by Hornsby. 2-0. St. Louis. Wow, Roger Hornsby goes yard. It's 2-0. And Tim McCarver will come to the plate. So that error hurts quite quickly. Here's Timmy McCarver, left-hand batting catcher. Still no outs. The pitch to McCarver, that's a 53 to Tim McCarver. What will it be? We shall see. 53 is an 18. And we have to go to the bases empty chart. 18. Bases empty chart. Grounder to short. Bobbling it and having no play is Wallace. Another error in the inning by the Browns/Orioles. This time it's an E6. McCarver's at first. Still no outs. That brings up the designated hitter, Jesse Burkett. Here's Jesse Burkett. Palmer hopes for a double play ball. We have to switch to the batter at first. The pitch to Burkett is a 52. How do you do from Jim Palmer? 52 is a 27. 27. Double. An X pitcher gets a strikeout. He's not an X pitcher. It's going to be 5-4-3 around the horn. 2 outs. That will erase the base runner. So Burkett bangs into the double play. It goes Robinson, Grich to Sisler. 5-4-3. 2 outs, base is empty. 2-0. Cardinals. Number 8 batter, the shortstop, switch hitter, Gary Templeton. He'll bat lefty against the right-handed tosser, Jim Palmer. Palmer to Templeton. 31 to Gary Templeton. That's an 8. I know that's an out because oh no, he's an A pitcher. He's not an AC pitcher. That might be in there for a hit. An A pitcher. What do we say? That's a 31. That's an 8. That's an out. Popped up. Left side. Third baseman waiting for it. Robinson will make the catch. Side is retired. But the Roger Hornsby 2-run blast after the error by Brooks Robinson gives the St. Louis Cardinals a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. APBA Brian Baseball Classics has joined us. He says, I believe about Hornsby, best right-handed hitter ever. Please check out that wonderful channel. APBA Brian Baseball Classic. Our good friend RJL Network has joined us. Check out that wonderful channel and subscribe to all these wonderful channels. All right. So Palmer gets dinged up. Here's Bobby Gibson. Gibson in the bottom of the second with a 2-0 lead will face Brooks Robinson, then Rice and Wallace. Here is Brooks Robinson. Can he amend for his error? We shall find out in a dice roll. Righty-righty matchup. McCarver sets the target. Robinson awaits the Gibson violent windup and delivery. Here's the pitch. It's a 64 to Brooks Robinson. A 64 is a 39. Bases empty on a 39. Curveball in there, strike one. So an 0-1 count. Robinson didn't like the call. Gibson rocks and deals again. It's a 66. Brooks Robinson will send that high, deep, and gone. Oh, my Lord. Bob Gibson came high and tight. Brooks Robinson quickly pulled the hands in, swung the bat. That ball is gone. A shot out to dead left. We have a 2-1 ball game. A home run by Brooks Robinson. Bippity boppity boom to the moon. Boom goes the ball. Brooks Robinson touches them all. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. The Cardinals' lead is cut to 1. So we have a 2-1 game after the tremendous blast by Brooks Robinson. Gibson tried to come in high and tight, and Robinson turned on that. So it's a 2-1 game. Leadoff homer here in the bottom of the second. Stepping to the plate, Harry Rice. Gibson to the left-hand batting, Harry Rice. A 53, what will it be? A 53 is a 16. Base is empty, a 16. Line shot towards center. Racing in, making a sliding catch is Enos Slaughter, robbing Harry Rice of a hit. What a catch by Slaughter. 1 out. Gibson still very angry at himself for allowing the homer to Brooks Robinson. 1 out, base is empty for Bobby Wallace, the shortstop. Wallace made an error in the top of the second. That error didn't hurt. The Brooks Robinson error did, but he has helped his own cause and the cause of the Orioles Browns with a solo shot. The pitch to the right-handed batting shortstop, Bobby Wallace. It is a 62. How do you do? A 62 to Bobby Wallace is a 32. A 32 is a fly ball, right center field. Moving over to make the catch is Stan Musial. 2 away. So 2 outs. Base is empty. Kenny Singleton, switch hitter, will approach the left-hander's batter's box. Here's Kenny Singleton, former New York Metropolitan. And Montreal Expo, right? The pitch to Kenny Singleton, 31 from Bobby Gibson. So a 31 on the Singleton card is a 9. The AC Voodoo's going to take that away. Swing and a miss. Set him up with the fastball. Got him with the breaking pitch. First K for Bob Gibson. But he does give up a solo blast to dead left on an inside fastball to the human vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson. We go to the top of the third. 2-1 Cardinals. For the Orioles/Browns, I'm sorry, for the Cardinals in the top of the third, Boyer, Slaughter, Musial. Greg Gorecki says Ken Singleton married a girl from Montreal. He went over there in the Rusty Staub trade, I believe, right? I'm trying to remember stuff I've read. So the Orioles/Browns give Palmer a run back. Let's try that here. And here's Kenny Boyer, third baseman. Here's Kenny. Righty-righty matchup. Palmer has the sign from Farrell. The pitch to Kenny Boyer. His brother Cleet played for the Yankees. That's a 21 on the Boyer card. 21's a 30, bases empty. I know that's an out. Left center field. It's carrying, racing over and back. Making the catch is Rice, Harry Rice. It was a bit hairy for a second, but Rice makes the fine running grab to deep left center. Boyer flies out. 1 down. Top of the order, Lou Brock grounded to second. He is 0 for 1. Brock digs into the left-hander's batter's box. Here's the pitch to Brock. 15 to Lou Brock. A 15's an 11. That's an interesting one, and that's going to be a single. And then Brock will steal second on the 0-1 count. So Brock turns that single into a double. He stands at second with 1 out. So Brock is at second. Cardinals threatening. Stan Musial steps to the plate. Enos Slaughter, steps to the plate. Don't they look similar? I actually thought this was the wrong photo. I could still be right about that. I think that's an incorrect. Is that Enos Slaughter? I mean, they look the same to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Here's Enos Slaughter. We have 1 out, runner at second, as Gibson singled, Brock singled, then stole second. So we have to go to the runner at second chart. Oh, no, APBA says that is Enos. Okay. Thank you, APBA. Stan Musial on deck. Slaughter, left-handed bat. Palmer, the right-handed hurler on the mound. Behind the plate, Farrell. He wiggles the fingers. The pitch to Enos Slaughter. Runner at second, the speedy Lou Brock. It is a 35 to Enos Slaughter. A 35 is a 9. A pitcher will take that away. Grounder to short. That will advance the runner to third, but there'll be 2 outs. So Wallace to Sisler, 2 down on the ground out by Slaughter. Had there been 2 outs, it would have been a strikeout per the radio board. So 2 outs, Brock at third. Stan the Man Musial steps to the plate. Musial was a strikeout victim to Palmer. 2-1 Cardinals. Musial trying to increase that lead. The pitch to the left-hand batting Stan the Man Musial. That's a 42 to Musial. A 42 is a 14. Runner at third. I believe that is a walk, but let's just double check. A 14. That is a walk. They pitched very carefully to Musial. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Johnny Mize reached on the Brooks Robinson error, scored on the Hornsby 2-run blast. That's the difference in this ball game, the Brooks Robinson error. Now Robinson got one back with a solo shot to lead off the top of the second. Mize steps to the plate. Here's Johnny. 2 outs, runners on the corners. You have Brock at third, Musial at first, Mize at the plate, Palmer on the mound, Farrell behind. The pitch from Palmer to the left-hand batting Johnny Mize. That's a 63. What will it be? A 63 is a 31. And, of course, with 2 outs, they're playing normal. A 31 fly ball to center field. That will retire the side. Baby doll Jacobson will make the catch. Cardinals leave him on the corners. We go to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Cardinals over the Orioles / Browns. So Mize cannot get the job done. And let's do the scoreboard here. So far, so good. Palmer did a good job there. Got some help out by his defense. Of course, he didn't have that help in the second. Bob Gibson back up on the bump. Put Gibby here. It will be Rick Farrell, Baby Doll Jacobson, and George Sisler. So here's the catcher for the Orioles / Browns, Rick Farrell. Righty-righty matchup. Gibson to Farrell. That is a 33. What will it be? A 33 is a 0. That's a reroll on the D column. It's a 66. It is gone. Rick Farrell. Oh, my Lord. Rick Farrell homers off Bob Gibson. Gibson, he's not muttering curse words. He is swearing loudly. Rick Farrell goes yard. Jumping all over an inside fastball. He fouled one off, and then bippity boppity boom. Gibson trying to come in even more high and tight. Farrell, just like Brooks Robinson did, quick pull of the ball, and he touches them all. Bippity boppity boom. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. Boom goes the ball. Rick Farrell touches them all. We are knotted at 2. Unbelievable. Gibson has given up 2 home runs. It's 2-2. How do you do? Another leadoff homer in back-to-back innings. That will not make Bob Gibson a happy camper. APBA Brian Baseball Classic says, feel sorry for whoever's next. I agree. And it's the top of the order. And Baby Doll Jacobson, you know he's going to face some real chin music. But before we go to Baby Doll Jacobson, let's put that run on the board. So it's 2-2. Holy cow. Gibson, you can see the fumes coming off Bobby Gibson. Baby Doll Jacobson 0 for 1. The pitch to Baby Doll Jacobson, that's a 23. A 23 is a 26. Chopper to short, and it'll be out number 1. Templeton to Mize, 1 down. So that's 1 out. Move that over a tad. George Sisler walked his first time up, reached third, but would go no farther. 2-2 ball game. The pitch to the left-hand batting George Sisler from an angry right-handed hurling Bob Gibson. That's a 62. How do you do? A 62 is a 9. I know the AC Voodoo takes that away. A 9 is a strikeout on a breaking pitch. So Sisler's down, and there's actually 2 outs now. 2-2 ball game. Mark Jones says the wind is blowing out, and Bob Gibson's going to be blowing up. Here's Bobby Grich. He grounded to short. The pitch to Grich from Bob Gibson. 2-2 ball game. That's a 42 to Bobby. 42 is a 42. How ironic. So a 42 and a 42. Batter hit. Oh, and Gibson's had enough. With 2 outs, he plunks Bobby Grich right in the back. Gibson has had enough with these Orioles and Browns digging in. APBA Brian Baseball Classics. Remember to check out and subscribe to that channel. He warned it was coming, and he is correct. So that is a hit by pitch. Gritch to first. He glares at Bob Gibson. Gibson glares right back at Gritch. I don't think you want a piece of Mr. Bob Gibson, Mr. Bobby Gritch. Boog Powell comes to the plate. 2 outs. Runner at first, 2-2 ball game. Powell, left-handed batter. Gibson has a side from McCarver. The pitch to Boog Powell. 23 to Boog Powell. That's a 32 with a runner at first. I do believe that will end the inning. A 32 is a well-hit ball to right field, but not deep enough. Making the catch is Stan Musial. The side is retired, but the solo blast lead-off homer by Farrell knots the game at 2. We go to the top of the fourth, 2-2. How do you do? So, Bob, no one's going near Mr. Bobby Gibson in that dugout. Top of the fourth. Here's Palmer. Let's put Palmer there. Palmer will face Hornsby, who hit a 2-run homer. Mize would score ahead of him thanks to the error by Brooks Robinson. Robinson would make amends with a solo blast in the second. So it's Hornsby, McCarver, Burkett. Here's Roger Hornsby to face Jim Palmer. The pitch from Palmer to Hornsby. It's a 33. Doubles are good. That's a 5. And let's make sure we go to the bases empty chart. A 5 double. It's going to be a double to left center field. A hustle double by Roger Hornsby. He's now 2 for 2. Go ahead run at second. Hornsby at second. Tim McCarver will come to the plate. Will McCarver bunt? No, he will not. He's going to swing the stick. McCarver will swing the stick against Jim Palmer. It's still early. We got to go to runner at second. I guess these are called radio boards. I found that out. Our good friend Kirk Berglund. I picked up the 1990 APBA season from Kirk. And the 1977 Strat season. So they'll be coming to the channel at some point. Runner at second. No outs. 2-2 ball game. The pitch to McCarver from Palmer. That is a 14. A 14 is a 30. A 30 will be an out. Fly ball left field. Runner holds at second. Making the catch is Rice. Retreating back to second is Hornsby. So we have 1 out now. Hornsby at second with 1 out. Designated hitter, Jesse Burkett. Burkett banged into a double play his first time up. Trying to give the Cardinals the lead here. It's a 2-2 game. The pitch to the left-handed Jesse Burkett. 15. A 15 is an 11. That's an 11. An 11, base hit to left field. The throw home, out. Unless Hornsby is a fast runner, he is not. He is not. What a throw by Harry Rice to Farrell, who applies the tag on Roger Hornsby. We're still knotted at 2 here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. What a throw by Rice. Put a good charge on that ball. Quick, accurate release to Farrell, who applies the tag on Hornsby. And again, I have Hornsby as a Normal runner. I am just going to double check that. Yes, he is. He's a normal runner. There are 2 down. And Burkett at first. Wow. So he is out 7-2. Single by Burkett. Defense starting to help out Jim Palmer. It wasn't earlier in the game. 2 outs. Gary Templeton steps to the left-hand batter's box. Switch hitter. He's 0 for 1. Here's Templeton. Let's see what Gary Templeton can do here. Palmer to Templeton. With Burkett at first. He's a fast runner. That's a 43 to Templeton. A 43 to Gary Templeton's a 29. And we have to go runner at first. And a 29. That's going to end the inning. Swing and a miss. Is he a wide pitcher? Yes, he is. That's a strikeout on a breaking pitch. And the side is retired. So Templeton K's. Second strikeout for Palmer. What a throw by Rice to Farrell to gun down Roger Hornsby to keep this game tied at 2. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-2. Here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. Hope all is well. What a play. Someone gets gunned down at the plate. So 2-2. Bob Gibson's made 2 mistakes, and he's paid for them. He tried to come high and tight to Brooks Robinson and Farrell. Both men yanked the ball down the left field line for bippity-boppity-boom home runs. Gibson did hit Bobby Grich to tell these Orioles/Browns batters, you're getting way too comfortable in that batter's box, whether righty or lefty. So in the bottom of the 4th, it's going to be Brooks Robinson, Harry Rice, and the shortstop Wallace for the Orioles/Browns here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. Here's Brooks Robinson. He has committed an error in the field and homered. Gibson to Brooks Robinson, 34 to Brooksy. A 34 is a 31. That's an out. Bases empty chart. It's going to be a fly ball deep to center field, but not deep enough. Enos Slaughter makes the catch. 1 down. So with 1 out, the left fielder Harry Rice, who threw out Roger Hornsby, steps to the plate. Rice is 0 for 1. He, too, flew out to Slaughter. The pitch to the left-hand batting Rice, 46 to Rice. 46 is a 13. That's a strikeout. 3rd K for Bob Gibson. An angry Bob Gibson. An ornery Bob Gibson. So there's 2 outs now. Base is empty for Bobby Wallace. Bobby Wallace, 0 for 1. Fly out to right. Wallace not digging in that right-hander's batter's box. Gibson with the violent windup, the delivery to Bobby Wallace. That's a 51. 51 to Wallace is an 8. The AC Voodoo will take that away. Popped up. Left side, 3rd baseman Boyer calling for it. He'll make the catch. Bobby Wallace is 0 for 2. We go to the top of the 5th, knotted at 2. So we go to the top of the 5th. No outs. How do you like this setup? It's a little something different, a little more visual. If you want to see a really fun APBA setup, there's a lot of fun setups in our community. APBA Brian Baseball Classic has a wonderful setup. RJL Network for his card and dice inside pitch baseball is also a wonderful setup. Lots of nice setups, different setups. I learned from them all. For the Cardinals, it's going to be Kenny Boyer, Lou Brock, Enos Slaughter to face Jim Palmer in the top of the fifth. So here's Kenny Boyer. The pitch to the right-handed Boyer, who is 0 for 1. It's a 43 to Ken Boyer. A 43 is a 29. That will be the first out of the inning. A comebacker to an ex-pitcher. It's a strikeout. He is not an ex-pitcher. It's a one-hopper back to Palmer. Palmer will throw to Sisler, 1 down. Boyer is now 0 for 2. MK says it's an excellent setup, compact and clean. Well, thank you, MK. I try different things. They don't always work, but I like this. I'm going a little slower because I'm actually trying to remember to, do the outs and put the guy here. But again, we're all enjoying it, right? It's not about speed. All right, 1 out. Oh, geez. That I didn't want to do. Palmer will now face the top of the order in Lou Brock. Brock is 1 for 2. He's grounded out to second. Singled, stole the base, reached third, but would go no farther in the third inning. 2-2 ball game, 1 out, top of the fifth. Here's Lou Brock, left-handed batter. Palmer to Brock. That's a 26 to Lou Brock. A 26 with the bases empty is a 12. A 12. A hard shot at first. Sisler knocks it down, quickly picks it up, wins the foot race to the bag. 2 away. So that's a ground out to first unassisted. Brock is retired. He's now 1 for 3. I have a question, APBA Brian. Palmer is an A pitcher. Brock is an AC pitcher. If they did 5 innings shutout, they can't advance in their level, right? In their grade, correct? Am I understanding that? I know an AC and an AB pitcher can't advance, but can an A pitcher advance? They can't, can they? Oh, APBA Brian says correct. Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you, my friend. All right, we have 2 outs. Base is empty for Enos Slaughter. Slaughter 0 for 2. Palmer will face the left-hand batting Slaughter for a third time. The pitch to Enos, it's a 32 to Enos Slaughter. A 32 is a 26. That's going to end the inning on the bases empty chart. It will be a ground ball to second. It's going to be Gritch to Sisler, side retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. We go to the bottom of the fifth, knotted at 2. Due up for the Brown/Orioles, Singleton, Farrell, then the top of the order, Baby Doll Jacobson. And we have a goose egg here. So neither of these pitchers can advance in pitching grade. We don't have to worry about that. Cutter Historicals joined us. Check out that wonderful channel. I will read what he has put in the chat in a moment. Gibson. And we get that here. Cutter Historical, working on my Out of the Ballpark Legends League project by doing division previews First one drops Tuesday. Well, thank you for that information. Please check out and subscribe to Cutter Historicals. Wonderful YouTube channel. Bottom of 5, 2-2. Bob Gibson will face Singleton, Farrell, and Baby Doll Jacobson. Kenny Singleton was a strikeout victim of Gibson. Gibson is strikeout 3. Singleton switch hitter, batting lefty. Gibson to Singleton. It's a 31 to Kenny with a bases empty chart. So a 31 is a 9. I know that's an out. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. So Gibson has him and McCarver have adjusted their strategy after 2 inside fastballs were jacked out of the ballpark, one by Robinson, one by Farrell. He now gets Kenny Singleton for a second time via the K, 1 out. They're setting up these batters for the Orioles/Browns with the fastball coming back with the breaking pitch. 1 out. Number 9 batter, Rick Farrell. He homered his last time up. Can he do it again? Farrell digging in quite hard in that right-hander's batter's box, daring Gibson to come inside. McCarver sets up inside. Gibson, 44! It's a 44. It's a 7. The AC Voodoo will take that away. No, it will not. No, it will not. The AC Voodoo does not take away the 7 on the bases empty chart. That is a single to right. Farrell fights off the inside pitch very late, but he bloops it to right. And again, he's an AC pitcher. And the 7, the Voodoo does not stop the 7 there on the bases empty chart. So Farrell is 2 for 2. He's a normal runner here. So Farrell's at first. 1 out. Top of the order, Baby Doll Jacobson. He's 0 for 2. The Baby Doll digs in the right-hander's batter's box. Go to the runner at first chart. The radio boards, as they're called. Here's the pitch to Baby Doll. It's a 66! 0, they roll again. Oh, my God. You won't want to go out to dinner with Bob Gibson tonight. On the D column. That's a leaner. Let's re-roll that. So it's a 52. Read the second number. 52 is a 6. That's a double. I know that's a double. 6. Double. Fast runner scores under 2 outs. If there's 2 outs, he scores anyway. Runner at first is Farrell. He's a normal runner, so it's going to be second and third with 1 out. Holy cow. Baby Doll Jacobson doubles to right. Second and third, 1 out. George Sisler steps to the plate. Do we want to play the infield in? We've got to go second and third radio board now. And here it is. Whew. Do we want to play the infield in? No, we will not play the infield in. We're hoping that Gibby somehow gets a strikeout here. It's a 2-2 ball game in the 5th. We're not playing the infield in. The pitch to George Sisler trying to give the Orioles/Browns a lead here. It's a 63 to Sisler. Second and third, 1 out. 63 is a 31. A 31 high fly ball to center field, but not deep enough. Quickly racing in is Enos Slaughter. He makes the catch, fires towards the plate. Bluffing at third, but not going is Farrell. So Sisler is out. There are 2 away. That's a huge out for the Cardinals. And now it's up to Bobby Grich, the man who was plunked by Bob Gibson after he had enough of the home runs. Here comes Bobby Grich. So here's Bobby Grich. Can he give the Orioles / Browns a lead? Second and third, 2 outs, 2-2 ball game, bottom of the fifth, Field of Dreams ballpark. Gibson looks in, has a sign from Timothy McCarver behind the plate. McCarver sets the target. The pitch to the right-hand batting Bobby Grich. It is a 65. A 65 is a 35. Second and third, a 35. Popped up foul territory near the first base dugout. Johnny Mize going over. He leaps into the dugout. He makes the catch. Johnny Mize with a sensational play. The side is retired. What a play by Johnny Mize, selling out for the win. We're through 5 here at Field of Dreams ballpark, knotted at 2. We go to the top of the 6th. What a play by Johnny Mize. Bob Gibson actually points at Mize and nods his head with approval. Palmer back up on the bump with his warm-up tosses. So far, Al, Red Sox fan, has remembered the outs mostly, the base runners, and our fancy schmancy scoreboard. All right. Let's go to the bases empty chart here. I'm very close at pulling the trigger on APBA football. I don't know yet. What's holding me back? Time. That's what's holding me back. I'm enjoying my card and dice games. I like my PC games too, but I don't know. There's something about... I love these cards. All right. Okay. So we go to top of the 6th. It's going to be Musial, Mize, who just made that hell of a play, and Hornsby, who was thrown out at the plate in the 4th. That would have given the Cardinals the lead. So that's why we're still knotted at 2. Rice threw him out at the plate. Here's Palmer. And Stan the Man Musial. The pitch from Palmer to Musial, that is a 34 to Stan the Man. Base is empty, radio board. 34 is a 31. I know that's an out. It's a fly out to center. Making the catch is Baby Doll Jacobson, 1 away. Musial's 0 for 2 with a walk. He's also struck out once. That's the first out in the top of the 6th. Palmer will now face Johnny Mize. Mize reached on the Brooks Robinson error, would score on the Hornsby homer in that same inning, then flew out to center. So he's 0 for 2. Mize just made a fabulous play, diving into the first base dugout to make the catch on the foul ball. He was even. Awarded a point and a smile by Bob Gibson. The pitch to Johnny Mize, 1 out, no one on. 34 to Johnny Mize. 34 is a 31, and that's going to be another fly ball to center field, and Baby Doll Jacobson, 2 down. Second time, Johnny has flown out to Baby Doll. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, 2-2 ball game from Field of Dreams ballpark. Roger Hornsby is 2 for 2, a homer and a double. He was thrown out at the plate in the 4th by the Orioles / Browns left fielder Rice to keep the game knotted at 2. Now Hornsby steps to the plate in the top of the 6th. Can he go 3 for 3? Palmer to the right-hand batting Hornsby. It's a 26. Base is empty chart. 26 is a 12. A 12 is a hard shot down the first base line. Sisler knocks it down. A diving stab, quickly picks it up, and again wins a foot race to the bag. Hornsby's finally retired. What a play by Sisler. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cardinals. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 2-2. here at Field of Dreams Ballpark. So Palmer gets some flashing of the leather. For the Orioles / Browns, it'll be Powell, Robinson, and Rice to face an ornery Bob Gibson. Gibson, once a member of the Harlem Globetrotters because he was such a tremendous athlete, actually quit the Harlem Globetrotters because he couldn't stand the showboating. So here's Boog Powell. In the bottom of the 6th, we're knotted at 2. Boog's 0 for 2. The pitch from Gibson to the left-hand batting Boog Powell, and it is gone! Holy cow, that ball is jacked out to right. Gibson came in high and tight, and Boog Powell has just hit the 3rd home run off Bobby Gibson. Gibson screaming at himself. It is 3-2 Orioles / Browns. Bob Gibson has given up 3 home runs on inside pitches. Boog Powell jacks it out. 3-2 lead for the Orioles / Browns. Bippity boppity boom to the moon. Boom goes the ball, and Boog Powell just touches them all. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. Holy crikeys. Tim McCarver goes out to the mound. Gibson glaring at McCarver, telling him not very nicely to go back behind the plate. Wow. So it's 3-2. Brooks Robinson coming to the plate. He has homered off Gibson. The Orioles / Browns showing the power. Here's Brooksy. Forgot to move the outs. So here's Brooks Robinson. Robinson, 1 for 2, a homer and a flyout. Gibson to Brooks Robinson. It's a 25, bases empty chart. 25 is an 8, and 8 on the AC Voodoo. That's an out. Fly ball to center field, out number 1. Second time Brooks Robinson has flown out to Enos Country Slaughter in center. So 1 out, 3-2 ball game, bottom of the 6th. Gibson has given up 3 solo blasts. Harry Rice, the man of the hour, the man with the power, he gunned down Enos Slaughter at the Roger Hornsby, at the plate in the 4th. Or the Cardinals would have took the lead. But now it's Rice. He's 0 for 2, 1 out. The pitch to the left-hand batting Rice. That's a 22 to Harry Rice. A 22 is a 0. It's a reroll. 43 off the D column. 43 is an 11. Single to left. And then Rice is going to steal second on an 0-1 count. The go-go Orioles / Browns. So Rice singles and then steals second. Still only 1 out. Big insurance run at second. Rice a normal base runner. 3-2 ball game favoring the Orioles / Browns over the Cardinals. Bobby Wallace 0 for 2 steps to the plate. The pitch to the right-handed shortstop, Bobby Wallace. That's a 16, runner at second. A 16 is a 28. A 28. Ground ball to short. Runner holds at second as Templeton looks back the runner, throws to Mize, 2 away. So Templeton to Mize retires Wallace. That's 6-3. Kenny Singleton. He's 0 for 2. Kenny has struck out twice against Gibson. 3-2 ball game. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Huge insurance run at second is Rice. He singled and stole second. Gibson to the switch hitting Singleton, who's batting lefty. It's a 22 to Kenny Singleton. Is he going to get some revenge here? A 22 is a 7. A 7. Single to left. Oh, 7. Sorry. That's a 22. Let's make sure it's a 7. Ground ball into left field. And that's going to score the runner from second. It's 4-2. Rice hustling all the way with 2 outs. Scores. That stolen base came into play. Singleton gets some revenge after striking out twice against Gibson. A seeing eye hit to left. He picks up a run batted in. 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th give the Orioles / Browns a 4-2 lead. Good job by Kenny Singleton. Gibson, if he gives up one more run, grade reduction, 5. If a pitcher allows 5 earned runs in any 3 or fewer innings, no, there will not be a reduction. But so Rick Farrell steps to the plate. Farrell has homered. 2 outs for Rick Farrell, and we have to change. I got to write a 2 now. That freaking thing's in the way. Hey, it rolled right off the board. 2. Alrighty. So with 2 outs, runner at first, 4-2 ball game favoring the Orioles / Browns. Rick Farrell steps to the plate. Farrell's 2 for 2, a homer and a single. Singleton at first. He's knocked in a run. The pitch to Rick Farrell. That is a 16 to Farrell. Will it end the inning? Runner at first. I do believe 16 is a 28, and I think that's an out. Let's look at the boards real quick. 28 is an out. There'll be a force out at second, retiring the side. Making the play, Templeton tosses to Hornsby, forcing out Singleton. But the Orioles / Browns get 2, one of them on a 3rd home run, given up by Bob Gibson off the bat of Boog Powell. Then a clutch single by Kenny Singleton with 2 outs. Getting some revenge after striking out twice against Gibson. We go to the top of the 7th, 4-2 Orioles / Browns over the Cardinals. So Farrell out 6-4. Gibson being roughed up. Doug Hunt, how you doing? Hope all is well. D. Scott Howard, the Goat Whisperer, how you doing? Hope all is well. 4-2 Browns / Orioles. Jim Palmer right now out dueling Bobby Gibson. Don't tell him I called him Bobby. He'll come punch me in the face. All right. Now we should have moved these cards over here. We have No outs. We have no runners on to start off the top of the 7th. Palmer finishing his warm-up tosses. It'll be McCarver, Burkett, and Templeton. All is well, Doug. Thank you. Glad you're doing well. Here's Tim McCarver, the Cardinals catcher. He's 0 for 2. Reached on an error by the shortstop Wallace, then flew out to Rice in left. Tim McCarver. He'll have to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. Palmer to the left-hand batting. Tim McCarver. That's a 21 to Tim. Bases empty chart. The radio boards. A 21's a 32. That will be out number 1. Fly ball to right center field. It carries a bit, but making the catch for the Orioles / Browns is Kenny Singleton. McCarver's now 0 for 3. 1 out. Jesse Burkett is 1 for 2. He singled and banged into a double play. Burkett is the designated hitter. Burkett digs in the left-hander's batter's box. Palmer has a sign from Farrell. The pitch. It's a 52 to Jesse Burkett. A 52 is a 27. Base is empty. It's going to be a ground ball to third. An ex-pitcher gets a strikeout. He's not an ex-pitcher. So Robinson throws across the diamond to Gene Sisler. There are 2 away. Scoring at home 5 to 3. Palmer was really settled in after that 2-run homer by Hornsby in the top of the 2nd. Should have been a solo shot, but Brooks Robinson made an error that allowed Johnny Mize to reach. 2 outs. Switch hitting shortstop Gary Templeton steps to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and popped to third. On deck, Kenny Boyer. The pitch to Gary Templeton. Palmer tosses in a 21. A 21 is a 30. That will retire the side. Fly ball towards left center field. Racing over, making the catch is Jacobson. He calls off Rice at the last second. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. Ding, ding goes the trolley. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 4-2. The Orioles / Browns over the Cardinals. So Templeton is retired. Palmer goes back to the dugout. We forgot to do the outs, but that's okay. We said what the outs were. Bottom of the 7th, 4-2. Orioles / Browns. Bob Gibson doesn't want to come out of the game. APBA Classics. That grade reduction 3-inning rule let Gibson stay in during the 64 World Series in Game 7 that you rolled, I guess, right? Here we go. There's Gibson. He's got to put up a goose egg here. He's going to face the top of the Orioles / Browns order, Jacobson, Sisler, and Gritch. So here's Baby Doll. Baby Doll is 1 for 3. He doubled his last at-bat. Baby Doll Jacobson. The pitch to Baby Doll to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. That is a 34 to Baby Doll Jacobson. A 34 bases empty chart is a 31. A 31 will be a fly ball to center field. That's carrying back to the track near the wall. Slaughter makes the catch. Oh, boy. It just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. No, he says in real life. I got you, Appa Brian. So Jacobson's now 1 for 4. That 64 World Series, a fun World Series. I replayed that using basic strat, Yankees and Cardinals, and I think the Cardinals still won. That's an underrated fun World Series. If you like baseball and you don't mind the teams you play, I suggest playing that one. That is a good World Series to play. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th, 4-2 lead. for the Orioles / Browns over the Cardinals. Gibson will now face the number 2 batter in the lineup, George Sisler. Sisler has doubled, struck out, and flown out. He's 1 for 3. Gibson to the left-hand batting, George Sisler. That is a 43. What will it be? We shall see. A 43 is a 29. Bases empty chart. 29. 29. Ex-pitcher. Gibson is an ex-pitcher. That's a strikeout. Second time he's gotten Sisler. 2 down. Got him on a sinking fastball. So 2 outs, bases empty. For Bobby Grich, Grich is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. Grich was plunked after the second home run was given up by Bob Gibson off the bat of Farrell, the catcher for the Orioles / Browns in the third. Larry Harris, how you doing? Hope all is well. So here's Bobby Grich. The pitch to Grich, righty-righty matchup. It's a 36 to Bobby Grich. Bases empty. 36 of 33. 33 will end the inning. Popped up. Y pitcher. Is he no, he's an XZ, so it's going to be a pop out on 33 to the second baseman. Side is retired. Making the play is Roger Hornsby. One, two, three. Go the Orioles / Browns in the bottom of the 7th. We're through 7. We go to the top of the 8th. 4-2 Orioles / Browns over the Cardinals. So Grich is retired. Gibson goes back to the dugout. Palmer takes his warm-up tosses. He looks extremely strong. Has a word with his catcher, Farrell. He's ready to go. He will face in the top of the 8th Kenny Boyer, Lou Brock, Enos Slaughter. Kenny Boyer's 0 for 2. Here's Kenny. The pitch from Palmer to Kenny Boyer. That's a 36 to Ken Boyer. So a 36 bases empty chart. 36 is a 14. No voodoo takes that away. A ZZ pitcher. He's only a Z. He's only a Z pitcher, so that's a walk. So Boyer walks. First time he's been on base. Still 0 for 2. Boyer is a fast runner, though. That could come into play. Tying run comes to the plate, and Lou Brock. Brock 1 for 3. His one hit was a single. So Boyer at first. No outs. Brock digs in the left-hander's batter's box. Farrell wiggles the fingers. Palmer nods his head. The pitch to Lou Brock. It's a 43 to Lou Brock. Runner at first. We have to flip the chart. We're getting better at that. Runner at first. 43 is a 29. A 29. A wide pitcher records a strikeout. It's a strikeout, Palmer. After Brock fouls off a couple of pitch, Palmer gets him on a sinking, breaking pitch. Out number 1, swing and a miss. Palmer picks up his 3rd K. There's 1 out, runner at first. Again, the tying run comes to the plate. This time it's Enos Slaughter. Enos Country Slaughter is 0 for 3. He is due. Let's see if Country can come through. That does not belong there. The pitch to Slaughter, it's a 56. I don't think that's going to get it done. A 56 is a 34. Runner at first. Is that a double play ball? Nope. Popped up left side. Wide pitcher gets a strikeout. It's a strikeout. So left side, giving chase was Wallace. He runs out of room. The very next pitch, Palmer strikes out Slaughter. So after the walk to Boyer, he's looking to strike out the side. There's 2 down. Stan Musial steps to the plate. Stan the man Musial for the Cardinals. Can he tie it up? He wants that 66. Boy, does he want that 66 in the worst way. He's 0 for 2, a strikeout, a walk, and a fly out to center to baby doll Jacobson. Palmer to the left-hand batting. Stan the man Musial looking for the 5. Oh, he's not going to get it. You want that 66. It's a 25. A 25's a 7. A 25 is a 7, but the A Voodoo takes it away. Chopper to third. Robinson is up with it. Throws to Sisler. Side is retired. The A Voodoo takes away the hit. So after the walk, the Cardinals go down 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Orioles/Browns over the Cardinals. The Cardinals will have last call in the 9th. Palmer back to the dugout. He's made one mistake, a 2-run homer off the bat of Hornsby. In actuality, one of those runs wouldn't be earned because Mize reached on a Brooks Robinson error. So Bob Gibson with his warm-up tosses. He's ready. Gibby is ready. There's Bob Gibson. Gibson will face, in the bottom of the 8th, Boog Powell, Brooks Robinson, and Harry Rice. It would only be a 1-run deficit had Harry Rice not thrown out Hornsby at the plate, but he did, and that was in the 4th. They would actually have taken the lead then. Here's Boog Powell. Powell has homered. Gibson has given up 3 home runs, 1 to Brooks Robinson, 1 to Farrell, the catcher, and 1 to the man at the plate, the left-hand batting Boog Powell. The pitch to Boog Powell is a 21 to Boog Powell. Bases empty chart. Flip the board. 21 is a 13. That is a strikeout. Gibson records his 6th strikeout. Powell is retired. Big swing and a miss. Fastball away. 1 out for Brooks Robinson. Robinson's 1 for 3. He homered in the 2nd. Since then, he's flown out twice to Slaughter in center. Gibson to Brooks Robinson. Righty-righty matchup. That is a 63. What will it be? We shall see. Bases empty. 63 is a 32. That's going to be out number 2. Fly ball, right center field. Running over to make the catch is Stan Musial, calling off Enos Slaughter. 2 down. Brooks Robinson now 1 for 4. So 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 lead for the Orioles/Browns over the Cardinals. Harry Rice, the left fielder, steps to the plate. Rice singled his last at-bat and scored on a 2-out single by Kenny Singleton. Prior to that, he struck out, flown out. He's 1 for 3. He's also stolen a base. So here's Harry Rice to face Bob Gibson. Gibson has the sign from McCarver, the pitch to Rice. It's a 61 to Harry. Bases empty chart. 61 is a 22. A 22. Ground ball to first. Backhanding. It's a diving backhanded stop by Mize. From his knees, he throws to a hustling Bob Gibson to just nip Rice at the first base bag. Scoring at home 3-1. 1-2-3 go the Orioles/Browns. We go to the top of the 9th. 4-2. Orioles/Browns over the Cardinals. Cardinals need 2 to tie and more to go ahead. We have adjusted our scoreboard. This is it. Palmer looks to go the distance. Still really fresh. Palmer is done with his warm-up tosses. Farrell comes out to have a word with him. Palmer will face in the top of the ninth. Mize, Hornsby, McCarver from the Cardinals. They're down 4-2. Johnny Mize is 0 for 2. He did reach on an error by Brooks Robinson. After that, he's flown out twice to center. Baby doll Jacobson made those catches. Here's Johnny Mize. Johnny Mize he'd go on to play for the Yankees also, I believe. The pitch from Palmer to Johnny Mize, that's a 26. Bases empty chart. 26 is a 12. A 12. Hard hit ball to first. Speared by Sisler. Sisler goes to the bag. 1 down. Palmer and the Orioles / Browns 2 outs away from victory. APBA Baseball Classics confirms that Johnny Mize did go on to play for the Yankees. So with 2 outs, Roger Hornsby comes to the plate. He knocked in the only 2 runs back in the second, a 2-run homer off his bat from the arm of Jim Palmer. Here's Roger Hornsby. Hornsby has to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. Palmer has the sign. Farrell sets a target. The pitch to Roger Hornsby. Oh, it's a 64. A 64 to Roger Hornsby. Bases empty. Is an 8. But will the voodoo? Yes, the A voodoo takes that away. Popped up. After he rips one down the left field line, he pops it up. Third baseman Robinson waits for it. He makes the catch. 2 away. It will come down to this. Tim McCarver, can he keep hope alive? McCarver, the Cardinals catcher, reached on an error by Wallace, the shortstop of the Orioles Browns, then has flown out to left and right. On deck, the designated hitter Burkett, who's 1 for 3. So here's Tim McCarver. Farrell goes out to have a word with Palmer, now quickly back behind the plate, but before going behind the plate and squatting down, he sets the defense. Palmer to McCarver. McCarver the 21. Base is empty. 21's a 32. That's the ball game, folks. Fly ball. Right center field. Going over is Jacobson, calling off Rice. Makes the catch. The St. Louis Browns / Baltimore Orioles defeat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-2. Palmer outduels Gibson. Gibson gave up 3 solo blasts. Brooks Robinson, the catcher Farrell, and then Boog Powell, also a 2-out single by Kenny Singleton. So there you have it. 4-2 going for the St. Louis Browns / Baltimore Orioles in the original franchise All-Star set, APBA. And these wonderful cards were created by Chris White. Alrighty. I love that they look like baseball cards. It was, to me, worth the money. That's your final score, 4-2. I hope you enjoyed the setup. I don't know if I'll always do it this way, if I can always get the camera angle right, but it was fun. Let's show the cards off again. Let's move that back here. And so Jim Palmer outduels Bob Gibson. And that hurt me a bit because Bob Gibson's one of my favorite players. All right. So I'm going MVP of the game, I'm going to give it to Jim Palmer. And this was a great game, as I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. And fun. And that is what is important. All right. I give player of the game to Jim Palmer. I'd like to thank Doug Hunt, as he says, and those are great cards. Mark Jones says, what do you think of APBA? I'm enjoying it. It's a quick setup. I have the 1999 season coming, though there are only 20 players per team, but that's okay. I get Pedro Martinez. Regular APBA cards. I have the 77 77 Stratomatic season coming. I got a nice deal from our good friend Kurt Berglund on his store when he had his little store video. So check out Kurt Berglund's wonderful channel. I'm enjoying APBA. I'm very close to getting APBA football. I want to check it out. So I'd like to thank Mark Jones, Doug Hunt, APBA Bryant Baseball Classics. Please subscribe to his channel. Cutter Historical, another wonderful creator. Please subscribe to his channel. RJL Network, our good friend Robert. Check out that wonderful channel and subscribe. Larry Harris, as I hit the camera. D. Scott Howard, the Goat Whisperer. Greg Gorecki. Clinton Parks, MK. Cleve Baseball Fan 879. Check out that wonderful channel and subscribe. Card and Dice Baseball Stratomatic Advanced and sometimes Super Advanced. Another replay guy, hooray, our good friend Michael Canistari. Hope all is well with you. And please subscribe to another replay guy, hooray. Brian Hoxie and Ty Board Games. So thank you one and all. I don't know if Ty Board Games has a channel, but if he does, check it out. So thank you. If you enjoyed the stream, smack that like button. If you've not subscribed and you wish to do so, that would be awesome. If you do subscribe, hit the bell for a notification when we go live. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Stay safe. Be smart. God bless. Greatly appreciate everyone's time. We'll see you all very soon. Peace.